All right, let's talk about the research proposal. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Ugh, another academic hoop to jump through. But hold on, let's flip that script. Don't think of it as a chore. Think of it as your personal blueprint for discovery. It's the architectural plan for the entire amazing project you're about to build. We have all been there, staring at that bright, empty screen, the little cursor just blinking, and that huge mountain of a research project just staring back at you. It can feel pretty overwhelming, right? Like you're lost before you've even taken the first step.
Well, that's exactly where the proposal comes to the rescue. It is literally your map. It's a formal plan, yeah, but what it really does is force you to figure out exactly what you're going to study, why anyone should care, and this is the big one, how on earth you're actually going to do it. It turns that overwhelming feeling into a clear, step-by-step path. Okay, so before you type a single sentence of your proposal, you've got some prep work to do. And trust me, you can't skip this part. The strength of your final blueprint is going to depend entirely on the quality of the groundwork you lay right now. Let's stick with that construction idea. You wouldn't just show up to a job site and start hammering, would you? Of course not. You'd gather your tools, your lumber, your nails, and you'd study the plans. It's the exact same logic here. This is you gathering your intellectual tools and materials. So what does that look like? Well, it really boils down to these four critical first steps. Number one, and this is a big one, pick a topic you actually care about. You're going to be living with it for a while. Two, get specific. Define some really clear questions. Three, do a quick dive into what's already out there, a preliminary lit review. And four, start thinking about how you're going to answer those questions. Okay, groundwork is done. You've got your materials ready. Now it's time to actually start building. We're going to walk through the core sections of the proposal itself. These are the load-bearing walls of your entire project. These are the absolute non-negotiables, the stuff you just have to have. We're talking about your title, your introduction and problem statement, the research objectives, the super important literature review, and, of course, your methodology. Let's break them down. First impressions matter, and your title is your project's first impression. Don't just slap something on there. A good title is like a perfect headline. It's short, it's clear, and it instantly tells everyone what your research is all about. Next, you set the scene. Think of it like a camera. The introduction is your wide shot. It gives the broad context and tells us why this topic is important in the first place. Then the problem statement is where you zoom way in. You get laser focused on the one specific gap or issue that your research is going to tackle. And now for what might be the most important section of all, the literature review. Let's be clear, this is not a book report. You're not just summarizing what you read. You're entering an ongoing conversation. You're figuring out what everyone else has already said so you can find your own unique contribution. And this is exactly why it's such a game changer. A great lit review literally points out the holes in our current knowledge. And hey, that's where your study fits. It gives you a theoretical foundation to build on. It makes sure you're not just redoing old work, and it actually helps you make your own research questions even sharper. So, we've got the what and the why. The methodology is all about the how. This is the practical, get your hands dirty part of the plan. You have to explain in detail exactly how you're going to do this thing, your design, who you're studying, how you'll pick them, and the tools you'll use to get your data. And a huge choice you have to make right away is your overall design. Are you going qualitative, where you're exploring ideas and descriptions through things like interviews, or are you going quantitative, using surveys and experiments to get hard numbers you can analyze with stats? Both are powerful, but they answer very different kinds of questions. And part of that how is sampling. Who are you actually going to study? You can't talk to everyone. So do you need a random sample to get a broad overview? Or maybe you need to handpick specific people who have the exact experience you're looking for, which is called purposive sampling. The key is that your method has to match your question perfectly. Okay, the main structure is built. The walls are up. Now it's time for the finishing touches, the things that add integrity and that professional polish to your work. Don't think for a second these parts are less important. There are three key things that really complete your blueprint. You have to talk about ethical considerations, you need to state your expected outcomes, and of course, you have to have a perfectly formatted references section. Now listen up, because this part is absolutely non-negotiable. Ethics. This is where you show how you're going to protect the people in your study. You have to explain how you'll get their informed consent, make sure they know they can leave at any time, and guarantee you'll keep their information private. It's the foundation of all good, responsible research.
Next up, your expected outcomes. This is your chance to answer that big, blinking question, so what? What's the payoff here? Will your work fill a huge gap in our knowledge? Could it maybe lead to a real-world solution to a problem? This is where you sell the value of your project.
And there we have it. We've gone from that scary blank page to a complete, solid blueprint for your research journey. So let's just do a quick flyby of the whole process to make sure it sticks. See, it's a pretty logical path. First, you lay that all-important groundwork. Then, you build the core sections we talked about. After that, you add those crucial finishing touches. And finally, and please don't skip this, you review the whole thing over and over for clarity and logic. Because here's the bottom line, a great proposal does more than just outline a plan. It's your proof. It proves to everyone that your topic matters, that your plan is actually doable, and most importantly, that you know what you're doing and have what it takes to get it done. That blank page doesn't seem so intimidating anymore, does it? You have the structure, you have the components, you have the blueprint for success. So the only question left is, what are you going to build?